So today we have just got you examples. Okay. Now this is one of the examples which are there. It's a Chamanga Cultural Center. It's basically it's actually an product of an studio, academic studio, wherein the students of the Munich University of Applied Science and the Portland State University students have worked with this community. Now this is actually it's a fisherman people town located on the Cockmay River estuary. Okay, and it's predominantly Afro Ecuadorian and historically undeserved province in coastal Ecuador. After the April 2016 earthquake, a lot of structures had got demolished and damaged. So 80% of the buildings and the have been demolished, because of which there was a lot of migration which was observed in this area. Now the red dot that you can see down in your site plan is basically where the project is being sited. Now what has happened is that there is a certain kind of cultural as well as traditional baggage this community has. But we wanted to talk about the whole community center that they built for themselves. So we'll just show you the community center. Now this is the community center that they built, wherein it's loading for us. This one, enter. One second. Mohit Wagmare, why do you have the control? Okay, I'm requesting control. Just give me the control. Yeah. Okay. Project management accounts का ये वीडियो के पास obviously सगळ्या फर्नीचर व्हाट इज योर नेचर एसेट में कहाँ कौन से कैटेगरी में बैठता है कौन सा तो ये एक्सप्लेन आई नेवर गो इनटू द रेस्ट ऑफ माय लाइफ क्या देख रही है एडी का साइड ढूंढ रही हूँ अच्छा एडी का साइड is it now okay yeah. So this is basically the community center that they have built, wherein they have actually used local materials. So what is interesting part is that the community has come all together to build this. Now this community center also has a toilet block, wherein they actually harvest the rainwater and utilize it for the flushing. So the next slide actually shows you the interiors wherein they've actually used the bamboo as a material. So you actually have a masonry structure at the base, and which has been and the superstructure has been created out of bamboo, which is also one of the local materials. The left hand side picture talks about how the community has come together and is been building this entire community center. On the right hand side, the kids are really enjoying their afternoon storytelling listening session. Now let's look at the drawings, the way it has been done. It's a very simple, block building, which is more like a C shape with a courtyard, closed courtyard right in the middle of it. Now, if you see the kind of drawings that we have specifically chosen is to show how the materiality in the drawings are being shown. Look at the column structures. Okay, so your ground floor plan, which is on the right hand side, which has clear column demarcations, and you can clearly identify the base. Now where the staircase is introduced and the floor is going to have a cutoff, there are two more columns which are being introduced there. Can you all see the cursor that we have? So this is the staircase which is there. And okay, so wherever the staircase is, just where the mid landing is, there is a column there. Onto the right hand side at a distance also there is another column which is there. Okay, so that is what I meant. And on the right hand side at the entry level itself, you have the toilet block, which is we are going to get to see in detail just to understand that how they are harvesting the roof water and going to utilize it for their flushing purposes. The left hand side is basically it's a top floor. It's like a first floor which has the again the bamboo screens. So the facades have been designed of bamboo, and then you have a flooring. And the picture that we saw earlier, it just has a natural daylight that penetrates, and also because it's porous, there is cross ventilation constantly happening. So thermal as well as visual comfort is being well taken care of along with the services that are required. Next. Now these are the plans. Now see the blue demarcation on the right hand side in the plan is basically showing you the positioning of the um, tank, water tank, which is there. It's more like a loft tank, which has been created, and you don't require otherwise a huge OHT or something like that. On the top is the superstructure. The toilets are limited to the ground, so whoever wants to access the toilet can access at the ground level. You don't have to take it up. Okay, it has one wash basin and two cubicles. If you see along the columns, there is a brick lining which is there to house the pipes or to take the pipes. Even the positioning is also very clearly demarcated. The duct is designed within the structure, so you don't see the duct outside otherwise. But definitely there is a double door access panel to access that space. Okay, so you can see the swing of the door which is there between the D and the F. Also, the internal partitions which are done are all with the bamboo, which is there. That's why you can see the gap between the the wooden posts which are there, which are more like bamboo, which are being acting like posts. The section onto the left hand side actually shows that how the water from the lean-to comes into this gutter, which is there. It's like a eaves gutter, and from there how it trickles down to this tank, which is lifted up so that the water will use gravity and is being used. The grey water, the wastewater produced is actually then collected from the nani and goes directly to the drain here. Now, guys, also you need to understand that the structure is being designed by the community. It's also it's more like a temporary structure. Okay, masonry is there definitely, but it's also been designed to keeping in mind the destruction which is caused by the earthquake. So you have to also understand all the parameters which are working with. So you might not have very clear cut demarcation of ICs, there might be just pipes or trenches, but they will definitely have access points to access in terms of any kind of maintenance or operational obstructions. I think we have a question. Let's see in the chat box. The rainwater harvesting tank is placed very low, so is there any pump system in the toilet? Cause the pressure will be very low. It won't be very low because you have to also understand it's higher than your equipments, okay, which are or the fixtures which are being placed. So you will directly get the water, okay, and also clear cut demarcation is this downtake pipe which is much more lower. It's never higher, so the water will definitely come to this level and stop. Okay, so it is being taken care of. There is no waterproofing of the bamboo which is being done. The bamboos will be definitely be treated. Okay, the linseed oil treatment is there for bamboos. There are other treatments as well which are being done, but that is just for the bore protectant actually. So rainfall, it is going to weather. So that is fine. Is that okay, Fleur?
No, I was asking how do you prevent it from coming into the room?
There is a
The rain.
sheeting, no? So the metal sheet is there above the
Oh, the
bamboo.
metal sheet. Okay.
Yes, yes, there is metal sheet. So I will show you the picture of the building again. One second. Yeah. Can you see the metal sheet on the right hand side picture or the left hand side picture?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Thanks.
bamboo actually holds the superstructure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But guys, just look at the detailing and the drawing. It's very simple. Each dimensions are given nicely. Look at the plinth beams which are there to tie. It's very important to tie the structure up, especially in the earthquake prone zone. Okay, and see how the pipeline actually surpasses that plinth beam and then gets into the channel. Okay, so not a single time your structure has been affected by the way your pipelines and things work. Because also understand when the water is there, if even in drainage or supply, there is a constant vibration which is going to be there. Okay, and that vibration is going to affect your structure. So that's why these things become very important. Also, you see there are these on the right hand side extreme in elevation, you see these steps which get you climb up onto your wash basin, and from there you get into the urinal, you can see, and then there is this spot. So you also need to understand here, if you see this spot is basically this one. Okay, it has wheels. So it will collect the fecal matter and get it out from this door, which is, sorry, from this door, which is there. Okay. So it is more like a portable one, but understand how they have actually designed it for their requirement, as per their requirement. It's beautifully done toilet. Okay. Then is this wherein you can actually see the elevation part of it. Let's see how things are being done, how the chambers are there, and then the water harvesting tank, which is also their means of flushing. Can you zoom in for the details? Which details? Okay, back. We'll try. Um, just zoom in more. Just take a screen of this. Yeah. Is this better, Vaishnavi? Can you see the connections and
Yeah,
everything?
yeah. Yeah, this is good.
Much better, no? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So now that this is what we were saying, there are steps. From the steps, you come to your wash basin area. From the wash basin area, you come to the urinal, and then there is the spot, which has this kind of a carriage, which is there with the wheels. Yeah, the cursor you can locate it, which can move out when it's done. Cleanse it, and then again it's ready to take the next dump, which will come after the usage. Yeah, you have this kind of a rainwater harvesting tank. Look at the pipe, the way. Also observe the connectors, how the connectors are. They are not the way you want to twist and tweak and turn it. Okay. The one that is there, the wheel storage also has this kind of a vent pipe that goes right up at the top level where the roof is. Okay, it will vent it out. So all the excess gas or the foul smell is being let out. So your urinals are much more in a better position to get utilized. Okay, good enough, Vaishnavi? Okay, look at these details also. See how the bamboo is being sandwiched between the panels, wooden panels. Okay, wherever there are joinery, how the bamboos crisscross, and that creates like a connectivity. There is an amount of insulation which is also created between your outer screen and the inner screen, especially where the windows are. Yeah, so everything works very climatically, and also you need to understand the kind of community we are working with is being very challenged by the climate itself, and that's why each and every resources are very much respected and being utilized with great sensitivity. Next. So this is the elevation. You can see the masonry hollow blocks which are there, and then how the water tank is there. On the right hand side is more like an elevational. So we actually got these drawings for you guys because we thought that the representation is very well done. It's a one simple structure, but each and every detail is being clearly demarcated. And as you move, you can sense the change in the material as well. Look at the ground floor compared to the above floor, the first floor. The moment the material changes, it becomes much more lighter because the material itself asks for it. Yeah. And you can see those changes. The juror or even your faculties doesn't have to ask that which is the material, what is the material. Even in elevation, they have clear cut demarcated the technically correct hatches. It's not the hatch that you want to give, and that's why you have given. The nodes of the bamboos are also indicated so that you know it's a bamboo, whether it's a split bamboo or a full bamboo and things like that. The other project that we have is basically, one second. Any questions on this project? Okay. Now the next is basically it's again for the kids as well.
So, Himaya,
Yes.
yeah, actually, I had a doubt. In the pot in the like the previous example,
Mhm.
how does there is no water trap that is present. So how do
There
you know
would
that
be,
the
because it's a portable, right? It's a portable unit. The tank which is there on the wheels that you saw just below your water closet, is storing the fecal matter, okay, along with the flushing water. So that you will have to dispose it out, and that's why there is a double doors, full swing doors, which are there. Which when you
Yeah,
open
but
it, you can access
uh,
that tank. You pull out that tank, and you discard it, okay, and then the
yeah.
fresh tank is being again ready to be used for.
Yeah, but how do we know that the gas there is a vent pipe given in that box, but
Hmm.
would it actually leave through the larger hole then to travel like the gas? So
No.
it will
So you
anyways.
understand gas as a material, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, the gases will always float higher and higher.
yeah. So they can go in the room where the pot is located, right? Because the lid is not there, so it might get in the room itself instead of going in the vent pipe. I mean, it will. Some of it
No,
will
it
go.
won't. I will tell you. Wait. So when you go back, yeah. So can you see where the vent pipe is?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's right at the top. So it's capturing it. You already have another cubicle on the top, which is acting like a water closet.
I didn't get you. I'm sorry.
You already have a cubicle here. This kind of a raised bench.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
that is
Okay,
actually your crude way of water closet, which is your pot.
okay, okay,
Okay, and
okay,
this is the tank below.
okay,
And
okay.
then from the top here itself, at this level only where it will start entering into that water closet, it's
Hmm.
getting tapped.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so that's how it will work.
Yeah.
Hmm. Any more questions? Should we move ahead? Okay. So the next is there is another project which is again it's a rainwater harvesting structure created in a community in by the students of the Chulalongkorn University. They call it as Pylonesk. Okay, it's a rainwater harvesting structure. So you could actually imagine the roof, how it is, and the center, those, squares that you see, which are hollow, are actually these capturing downtakes from the entire roof that you have. On the right hand side is the picturesque site for where it is actually sited. It also becomes like an hanging ground for the kids. Next. So it basically it combines the climatic context and the vernacular typologies into a semi-enclosed multipurpose space for a primary and middle school in the Thai province of Uthai Thani. This is a region that experiences heavy rain seasons followed by extensive hot and dry climate. So they are actually been hit by an extreme climates wherein they have very high precipitation, but at the same time their summers are very hot and dry. It's like extensive hot and dry, where water holds, and then definitely the water becomes a very important medium to cool yourself, especially when it's hot and dry. The moment it's dry, you need to add humidity, right, in the air, which means that you will go for the direct evaporative cooling. So water has been required for that. Now, water is not available for you throughout the year. It's only available during the rainy season. And it's in the plenty, it's the scale of the water is much more higher at the kind of precipitation that happens. So you basically capture the rainwater and then utilize it in the hot and dry season as one of your passive design techniques to make sure that the building is much more cooler and gives you a nicer experience for the occupants. And because water is very important, it holds like cultural and practical significance because it's also linked with the agricultural tradition and the festivities of that area. Next. So what you saw in the earlier slide was actually a metal framework. Now, if the two squares that you saw on the aerial view, the aluminium duct is being created, square duct with these downpours, okay, from where all the rainwater is getting collected. And if you see on the right hand side, you can actually see this kind of a concrete bund which is being created at the ground level, which is a raised bund and the hollow. Okay, that is where all these spouts are being, throwing the water into. And then you have this vertical channel, which is still in the process of making, which is there. From there, it gets channelized to the agrarian land. Now, what it has a very simple metal frame structure along with a sheeting or a finishing material, which is there. Next. 2 minutes, guys. Yeah. Now, this will give you a very good overview. Now, because it's been designed for the kids, they have a lot of these play pumps which are there. Okay. Now, these play pumps are these lavender kind of like, open gym kind of equipments which are being placed. You can easily see them. Now, when you're pumping the water and things like that, it's actually traveling the water through the site. So when the kids are playing, okay, that energy, the kinetic energy from the kids is being captured and converted into another form of energy which helps to push the water and runs across the site. So that's why you see these blue lines which are connecting criss across of the equipments. Okay. And then you have those kind of clear demarcations in terms of the blue lines, which talks about how the water flows onto the land. And then on the top with kind of a funnel, that kind of a structure, it's nothing but it's actually capturing the water, rainwater. Next. Now, the structure is actually composed of inverted triangulated pyramids. So they are modules, okay, that reduce the number of unique cuts per steel member. The pieces were sized so that they could be manually mounted and welded in place, eliminating the need for heavy machinery and reducing the overall cost. So what happens is whenever you try and figure out details on your own and it is at a smaller scale, you save in a lot of amount of energy as well as the money at the same time, and the overall cost gets reduced. Similarly, the finishings utilize industrial material that are appealed with unconventional twist. So you have water boiled wood panels, provide acoustics and thermal insulation from heavy rains, and strong heat aluminum foil insulated zinc, which has been the roofing material again. So the brown thing that you saw is actually the composition of these things which are being listed here. And there is an additional thermal barrier in shed water inside and outside the building. So now the translucent red canvases project outwards from the edges to provide shading while allowing for natural lighting. Now, this happens when you have another. So, if you go back to the main, yeah, this one, sorry, go back. Uh, yeah. So can you see these projected things which are much more, yeah, those at the periphery? They actually make sure that, climatically everything is taken care of. You can easily see where the spouts are going to be, like the four corners between the each square. So you'll have 8 spouts. Then there will be these vertical channels which are connecting from that gutter. So from there, it will go into your rainwater harvesting tank. Next. So you basically have natural lighting and water is being taken care of. Here you could clearly see that there is this kind of a play pump mechanism, and it actually tells you how much liters of water they can pump into the system at the same time. And it's a very unique way there are a lot of parks which are there, like New Zealand, a lot of, not New Zealand, sorry, Netherlands have a lot of these parks which works on these play pumps and gym equipments, capturing the kinetic energy and converted them into any other form of energy which can be utilized. Next. This is the overall elevation, which talks about how the table and chairs are being placed, how open. It's more like a pavilion structure. It's no more like an enclosed structure, but there is a lot of combinations of geometries which are being used, and especially it's a single module of a triangle, which is then multiplied and created differently. Also, triangle is a very strong form, okay, because the three corners, they are quite strong in terms of the structure, so it helps well. Can you see the gutters which are there? Like you can see actually the gray bases which are there below the section line, and then there is this notch which is nothing but the gutter for the rainwater to come. Yeah. This is the other thing which actually talks about that how, which is a major trough which collects the water. From the trough, it actually takes it to these two underground tanks. And from there are these play pumps through which the water is again pumped onto the surface, used as an aesthetic feature or your recreational or a playful element, and then again gets stored within the tanks. Okay. Any questions you all have till now? Hello, any questions you all have, guys?
It will get stored again. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, Fleur, you go first.
Okay. So after it comes into that funnel thing. It'll go into the tank once, and then
Yeah.
it'll go into a fountain, and then back into the tank, and then into the
Yeah, it
agriculture.
again goes into the tank. So they keep channelizing it. So you will do like this kind of a treatments which are much more natural beds. And that's why if you see, it's much more like a cemented for a good runoff coefficients, and then there will be pebble paths which are there in forms of the trenches, which are actually channelizing the water. But when they are channelizing it, they are filtering out the solid impurities which are there.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. How is water stagnation prevented in that open water bed? Okay, now there are kids which are going to occupy these spaces. Okay, and there is a constant pumping, and that's where the play pump and these equipments help. They're constantly churning the water which is inside. The water is never stagnant. Okay, because that the moment you do cycling or any kind of other play activity like spinning the wheel and things like that, that energy will create that turbulence within the water. So that stagnation of the water is gone. Yes. Any more questions? Any questions, guys? Anything that you need to ask regarding ideas? We have more examples, but I think we'll take it for the next class because it's 2:11 and then 2:12 already. We just have like 8 minutes. So let's take questions from you guys. I hope you all are enjoying these examples that we are trying to show you. These are very different, but I think for more focus on the representation, focus on the sizing of the tank, how they have placed it, how they're using the slopes. What kind of materials are used in the structure, so their runoff coefficients are being taken care of, and things like that. Fair enough. Hello.
Hi, is there any
Yeah.
detail that shows how these toys and slides are exactly pumping and helping the water not remain stagnated?
Yeah, there are lots actually examples which are there, but particular to this project, I didn't find any. These were the sections we could find. But it's actually basically they have these metal exchanger plates which are embedded underground, which acquires the heat, kinetic energy, and then they convert it into the other form of energy where it takes care of that.
Okay, thank
Ankita?
you.
Yeah, welcome. Anything else? Okay, there is a question. One sec. Not related to water supply, but how do we calculate the amount of solar panels we need in our structure? 1 megawatt is equal to 100 square meters? Yes. Yes, Vaishnavi?
I couldn't hear you. What did you say?
1 megawatt is equal to 100 square meters
Oh,
area
all right.
on the roof.
If
On the
it's
roof.
used for pumps
On
and
the roof,
electricity, right?
yes, on the roof without any kind of overshadowing, it has to be clearer.
Yeah, yeah. Like the
It's
solar
not 1
panels which
megawatt,
are
1 kilowatt.
flushed with the
It's not
other.
1 megawatt, it's 1 kilowatt.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it's 1 kilowatt equal to 100 square meters. Anything else? Hello? Hello?
No, nothing else.
Okay, then let's we'll close here. And next class we'll continue. Okay, we'll finish giving examples and maybe we do the test post that. Okay, because test is much more in terms of just assessing your how much you have understood. It's nothing to do with your, it's nothing like a major test kind of a thing. It's going to be more fun. It's MCQs. So, and me and Swati will be around, so we will be there in case you all have any questions. But let's finish the architectural example. So you have a good idea about rainwater harvesting. Yes, Tanvi?
So in my ideas, I'm using a borewell plus recharge pit kind of a system instead of the rainwater harvesting
Right.
tank.
Okay.
So, so since I live in Rajasthan, my project is in Jaipur. So I
Hmm.
had so the catchment pond for the water. So do I
Hmm.
need to make it a percolation pit, or it needs to be cemented to store the water throughout the year? Since there is
No,
only rainfall.
if it's a storage, then it has to be like an inbuilt tank. It can't afford to seep in a little bit of water as well, or lose the water to the ground. Okay.
It's not
If
a tank, it's a
so,
borewell
okay,
system.
then don't use the word storage. So
Yeah,
what you
okay.
need to do, you will have this borewell pipe, okay, the demarcation of the borewell. Along the borewells, you'll have to create these rings of cements,
Okay.
okay, and those cement rings will hold the water, and it will ensure that the water holds for your borewell throughout the year. So the
Okay.
water, even if your land is much more porous with a lot of cracks and fissures in it, the water
Yeah.
won't discharge to some other land. It will be retained on your land.
Okay. So like if the rainwater, so I looked up online, so there is like
So
a
those
borewell.
circles, just one sec. The
Yeah.
circles itself are the recharge pits
Okay.
for the
Yeah,
borewell.
yeah.
हाँ बोलो अभी.
Okay. So like I had searched online, so there was this image which I got. So it had a catchment pond kind of a thing. Then the water was getting transferred to a to the borewell, and the borewell had a fake tank and the actual borewell. So it was like a connection of filtration. So I had the doubt that the catchment pond where all the water gets first collected and then transferred to the borewell. So
That is
that
more like a reservoir, but do you have that kind of a land? You all are designing in an urban setup, no?
yeah. So actually mine is
So do you
in
have a lot of land which will be
yeah.
the rainwater from that land will be collected like acres and acres है आपके पास?
Not acres and
तो
acres.
1 एकड़ तो है.
Yeah.
हम्म,
Okay.
1 एकड़ है कि नहीं है?
I'm not sure.
Okay, so no, I'm just telling you because then it becomes difficult, no, Bacha? When you
Yeah.
don't have the onus onto the land, you can't expect someone else. No, like this is like you and me are neighbors, and I
Yeah.
want to make a recharge pit and a bore well, and I will say okay, Tanvi, please give me land to put the catchment pond.
Yeah. Okay.
You
Got it.
might give it, but at the condition that okay, I'm also going to utilize it. Then it becomes like a shared amenity or a resource.
Okay.
That's how community building happens, no?
Yeah. Yeah.
But not necessarily everyone will give it. And not necessarily you will have a plot which is residential next to your residential plot. It might be a commercial or a residential building, you know.
Yeah.
Someone might run their office from that bungalow or something like that. So there are all these kinds of complications that come in.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording, guys.